Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Fantasy Turf War, the show where 64 teams go head-to-head to see who is the ultimate champion. I'm your commissioner, Cory, and we've got another interview for you today, which is a bit of a fresh air after this long weekend. A lot happened this weekend. A lot changed this weekend, hopefully for the better. Fantasy Turf War is always meant to be a breath of fresh air in a chaotic world, and I think that's more true now after this weekend than anything else. And this interview will certainly fill that void of some levity. And Adam, DJ Dove, and JJ Wang, we sit down and talk for a good while, shoot the shit about football and what they did with their podcast and how they got their start. And it was really enjoyable. These guys are hilarious. You'll see that for yourself. You can tell they've got a really good chemistry together in what they're putting together. And I think they're going to be an excellent team in the league, although JJ is going to have to figure out that whole team loyalty thing, which you'll see for yourself in the interview. But it's all good fun, and I think you guys will really like it. Make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on the notification bell to make sure you stay up to date with all of our interviews. We're going to be cranking through them now. Had some stuff come up, but now we are back on track, and I think for the next 3 weeks or so, we've got nonstop interviews coming out every day. So we'll be trying to get through those as much as possible, but make sure you're staying up to date, and then sign up on fantasyturfwar.com. Put your email in there to get on our newsletter. We're going to start doing contests, and the only way to find out about it is if you're notified, and the only way to get notified is on the website. So take a look, fantasyturfwar.com, and then we'll jump into this interview with DJ Dove and JJ Wang. Good afternoon, DJ Dove and JJ. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Excited to be here. Excited for this new experience. Could be a good time, man.
Yeah, sounds like it certainly shaped up to be something pretty cool this year. So I'm glad you can join us. Welcome to Fantasy Turf War. Welcome to the league, gentlemen. I wanted to start today with kind of your backstory and what brought you guys as Fantasy Couriers, how that story came to be, and kind of what led you to this point. And then we'll go ahead and just kind of go around the room, starting with DJ Dove, and then we'll go JJ.
So basically, JJ Wang and I, we've been friends since childhood. Like we went to elementary school, grade school, high school together, hung out throughout school, and then right after high school, he joined the military and he was deployed for a bunch of years. I went off to college and we lost connection. He came back. We saw each other a couple times, and then a handful of years later, I don't remember exactly when it was, but we just reconnected randomly out of the blue and just started talking fantasy football. And then we connected. He started a league. I joined the league with him. And he jokingly, as an aside, it's like, I kind of would like to do a podcast sometime. I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know how to do this. I have no clue what's going on. And as the years go by, he joins another league, one of my leagues as well. So we're doing a couple of leagues together. And I was starting to figure out some stuff on the internet. I was like, hey, dude, let's do a podcast. He's like, sure. So we started out by talking about the leagues we were in. And then I got adventurous and said, let's put this on. It was Spotify at that point. It's called Anchor. It was Anchor at that point. Now it's called Spotify. And we just started recording, just sort of did some stuff. And it's really just, we title it like two childhood friends, just shooting the breeze and talking about it. And what I call it is it saves my marriage, because my wife doesn't have to hear anything. It's basically my football wife to a point, because he hears all the football stuff. My wife hasn't heard about fantasy football for a handful of years. Golly, what did we figure out this is? 4 years, Jason?
I mean, it's pretty close to about that. I mean, we've been going at it for a while, grinding it out.
So yeah, so it's been fun, and we keep it simple too. I think that's the key thing. So, what do you think, JJ Wang?
Yeah, like I said, when we started, I tried to, when I first started Dynasty. That was about the same time I started listening to podcasts. And I started listening to so many fantasy football podcasts. I mean, it was just like nonstop. And then I got this idea that I wanted to try something like in my personal league, like just like a radio type thing where I would talk to people. But unfortunately, I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. That's not my forte. I had some troubles with it. I didn't really have any motivation. And then that's when DJ Dove came in, and he's like the backbone of this whole operation. I mean, he figures I don't know how to do anything. He figures it all out. I just show up before the podcast, got some ideas, and we just kind of just throw them out there. I mean, it's really fun.
Okay. You did give us the name, though. The name's all yours. JJ Wang is the name creator.
That is me. That is true. I will be taking the name with me.
Okay, so we've got DJ Dove is more of the brains, and you're more of the beauty of it, right? So yeah.
I think we can go that direction. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of name, I wanted to ask. So, Fantasy Couriers, it's an interesting name for sure. Where does that come from?
So when I first started the idea of trying to do a podcast, my name just came up. I wanted to like create an alternate personality. I'm a huge wrestling fan. It's probably my second love, as you know, after fantasy. But I just needed that alter ego. So you know, the first thing is just my initials, and then the last one is just an abbreviation that I call myself throughout all the fantasy leagues. Call myself Wangbone everywhere. So I just took that and just put it all together, and I just created a JJ Wang's Dynasty Diamonds, just kind of like imaginary website, and that's what I would always say. So after that, I was like, well, once DJ Duff came on, I was like, well, we need a name. So I was like, we kind of like deliver the mail, right? So like the couriers, you know, they're delivering, you know, they deliver the fantasy football news, and so we're fantasy couriers. We deliver all things fantasy.
Sounds pretty good. And I think your guys' origin story there is similar to a lot of the ones I hear, both in the league and not in the league, in that the best content seems to come from natural conversations you're already having. You just kind of happen to plop a tape recorder in there somewhere. Tape recorder for the kids back home. That's an old way we used to. But that seems to be the most efficient and effective way to do it. And it sounds like you guys are onto something. So congratulations on that. And you said 4 years, right?
I believe so. We just celebrated. We celebrated 200 episodes, but that doesn't count the week. So this might be the start of year 4. I can hash it up and figure it out because I can go look and see. While you ask JJ Wang a question, I can give you the exact first date. It's June of something a couple years ago.
Okay, JJ Wang, here's a question. 2 trains leave the station going opposite directions.
Oh my God.
No math.
Not my thing, man. We'd stay here all night for me trying to figure that out, man.
No, 200 episodes. That's definitely an achievement. So congratulations on that. And if you're just starting your 4th year, if you're wrapping up your 4th year, congratulations either way. That's definitely a monument to be celebrated. So kudos all around.
Appreciate it.
All right. So you guys talk shop on fantasy football, but let's go ahead and switch gears here into actual fantasy football and talk shop with what we've got going on with Fantasy Turf War and the league and some of your experience. Now, both of you have independent levels of experience, but you're both on the upper end of the spectrum when it comes to the league. I think as of recording, our average is about 12 years experience. And JJ Wang, you bring 15, and DJ Dove, you bring 25. So I think you are well equipped to play some fantasy football this year. But the real question is, how many of those years resulted in championships?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not the best. I'm not the best at this game. I've learned over the years. I mean, you're always adjusting. You know, it's always a learning experience. You go through so many different phases. When I first started, I was just a player's guy. I had to have certain guys, and I ended up having them in every league. So when they bust, I mean, they bust in every league. So it just turns out to be crazy. But you know, as far as redraft goes, I've acquired 2, 3. I think that's 3 as far as redraft goes. And Dynasty's been a little rougher for me. It takes me a while to win because I draft everybody under 22, so it takes them a few years to kick in. But I have managed to catch two dynasty leagues as well. So I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, winning a championship is hard. I mean, it's. I'm not gonna say it's all luck, but I mean, there's a lot of luck involved in this. Man.
There's a lot of luck.
There's a ton of luck.
So if I'm gathering that right, then so we're looking at what 4 championships, 5 championships,
4 championships over the 15-year span.
Okay.
I jumped in Dynasty kind of late. That was more of like a 2020-ish 2019-ish, I guess, was when I first related to Dynasty. So I feel like I'm kind of, I don't want to say late, but I mean, there was a lot of people in, Dynasty, when I found it. I was like, wow, I missed this boat completely.
Yeah, I started Dynasty a couple seasons ago, and I apparently took the aged wine approach in that. Just let it sit for a while. So it sounds like you might be taking a similar approach. But hey, five championships in 15 years. It's one every 3 years. That's not bad, and that means you at least know what it takes to get there. So that's good. But we happen to notice that DJ Dove, you're a little quiet over there. How many championships do you have?
I was trying to do math, and it's not a lot. I'm the most unlucky guy in the world. So I was trying to think, because I'm in so many leagues, it's ridiculous. But when you're in so many leagues, then you might miss something. I want to say, this is terrible. I want to say six or seven, maybe over the 25 years. Last year, I should have had about 3, but I was that guy. And have you ever had that year? And it was almost all my teams. Highest scoring team in the league. And then everybody hit you. Literally, I had a league where I was the highest scoring team, highest points against, missed the playoffs.
Ouch. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen it.
Hurt. But the good news is I'm going into my dynasty team this year with Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going with Patrick. Like, the team is stacked. So sometime people are going to stop scoring all their points. But yeah, no, they say the old adage is those who can't play, coach. Those who can't win, podcast. That's how I'm going at it.
All right. Fair enough. I know all too well, and I laughed when you were saying it because I've been in that spot before too. I say it on a lot of the interviews that we've done, but I'm the team that's notorious for going into the playoffs, highest points scored and best record, and then I just bombed the whole thing. So
Happens quite frequently, man.
22nd of June, 2021. So I was off by a year. It's been 3 years. It'll be we'll start our 4th year in June of 2024.
That's almost better, right? Because that means you've knocked out 200 episodes in 3 years, and that is redonkulous. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, we do one during the off season, then during the end season, we'll do a Sunday night recap and a Thursday here's what's coming kind of deal.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's exhausting.
All right. So you two, as to my understanding, are geographically separated. Is that correct?
By about an hour.
Okay. Oh, so not too bad.
Not too bad, no.
But your fantasy, or your NFL fandom is quite diverse, and so we should probably, I don't know which one's worse. So let's just start with DJ Dove. You are a Dolphins fan. Where does that fandom come from, and is there any story behind that?
So I grew up. We grew up about an hour and a half, 2 hours from DC, and on TV back in the day, the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins, they were on TV all the time. As a kid, that was the team my mom had me root for because I got all the red clothes. My brother got the blue coats, so he was a Cowboys fan. Neither of us like those teams anymore. For some reason, in 1992-ish, I didn't like Mark Rippon. Apparently, he's a good dude. But as a little kid, I didn't like him. On the AFC channel, there was nobody because the Ravens, they were still in Cleveland. But on that time, the team on TV was Dan Marino throwing to the Marx Brothers. And it was just a great childhood. They didn't win diddly squat, so it wasn't like I was going for the team winning Super Bowls. And I just enjoyed watching them. And then I remember, like in 8th grade, I said, I've got to pick a final team. You've done that crazy thing as a kid where you root for the good teams. The Panthers and Jaguars started, so I liked them for a smidge. So I got a starter jacket from the Sears catalog of the Miami Dolphins. I still have it. My daughter wore it a little while back, and it's in my closet at work every now and then occasionally. And so I said, I got to stick with them. And it's been terrible. I've been stuck with them for years. My wife and I started dating in 2003. And up until that point, they had the longest making the playoff streak. At that point, then they started not going to the playoffs. So I did the whole wedding planner joke. You broke up the band. We've had 3 playoff games since I've been dating and married to my wife. And we've gotten obliterated in all 3. No, we almost beat the Bills. But, we have not looked good in any of them. So it's just terrible. And, the colors are just very masculine. It makes me feel great. It's just, I'm a glutton for.
Yeah, it's been not bad the last couple of years. But, yeah, Dan Marino was robbed of some chances to get a Super Bowl ring. and just remember laces out. You'll be all right.
This is out always late. And Zach Thomas, favorite player of all time.
Oh, okay.
Something
Very
random,
cool.
yeah. So last year I was very happy in the summer. That Hall of Fame speech got me good.
Okay, so I can respect that for sure. I don't know about the jersey comment you made, but we'll avoid that one for a minute because we have a bigger problem in that JJ Wang, you're a Cowboys fan.
You can call me a Cowboys fan. I grew up a Cowboys fan, like all throughout high school. That was my team. It was around 88, 89. Troy Aikman, came in. My mom was a Cowboys fan. Dad was a Redskins fan at the time.
That's a house divided right there.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I mean, both of them were on TV all the time. So I mean, I got to see, I got to pick whichever one, and I ended up ultimately picking the Cowboys fan, being a Cowboys fan. Troy Aikman came in, and then the following year, 1990, is when my favorite player of all time made his appearance in Emmitt Smith. To me, considered the greatest running back of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Great line, I obviously know. But looking at everything else, I mean, Emmitt Smith is just if you need a yard or if you need a first down, this guy will give you a first down. But nobody else really agrees with me. But I'll go to my grave with it. So yeah, of course you're going to get called a bandwagon guy, being that they won the Super Bowl so early. So I've had to deal with that. But it is what it is. I suffered through the lean years with Quincy Carter. I mean, didn't really like that guy. Prayed for Tony Romo to come off the bench. Second half of the game came. Tony Romo came in, super excited, and then pretty much it was just all downhill from that. Ended up breaking my hand over the Tony Romo fumble against the Seattle Seahawks. That was a bad night. I just lost my love. I mean, I couldn't really get anything out of them. They would ruin my week. Ruin my life. I just couldn't take it. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm just going to become a players guy. Deep down, I still, they're still my team, but I just don't root for them that way. I got tired of them ruining my life, so I'm not giving them anything else. So yeah, now I'm just a players guy. I play fantasy football. Fantasy football is all about players, not about teams. So I can't be dedicated to just one thing. I gotta love them all, man.
But who's your favorite player?
My favorite player is Emmitt Smith. I mean, it's not even close.
No, right now.
There will never be another one of that.
Right now, who do you like the most?
Right now, oh God, I mean, I think Josh Allen's probably one of my favorite players. I mean, I don't know where you think I was going to go, but I think probably deep down, I really like Josh Allen over the last 4 years, or ever since he came in. So if I had to pick a favorite player right off top, it would be probably Josh Allen, but CeeDee Lamb is a very close second, even though he is a Cowboys fan. I know, but CeeDee Lamb's a close second, but I'd probably go with Josh Allen at the moment.
Okay, not a bad choice for sure. CeeDee Lamb, also talent for sure. But the loyalty to the Cowboys seems a little strained over there. So I'm just saying, if there's other teams, there's 31 other teams. If you wanted to give them a look, my Raiders are looking okay-ish.
I mean, I don't mind the Raiders. Like I said, if there's players on a team that I have in fantasy, I will root for them at all costs. Like I grew up, I hated the Redskins Commanders growing up. Couldn't stand them. Could not stand the 49ers. Oh, I hated the 49ers growing up. Of course, it was such a big rivalry back in the day. But now, honestly, the 49ers right now are like my favorite team in the NFL. I mean, I want them to go to the Super Bowl every year. Love me some Kyle Shanahan. I think I love Kyle Shanahan as a coach. I mean, so wherever he goes, I would probably go. But right now, I like the 49ers, and I even find myself rooting for the Commanders from time to time. It's a crazy world.
So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think the comment section is about to have at it because you just Cowboys, Commanders, 49ers. There's no love in the middle of those. So you might have to. Have you tried the Dolphins?
There's too many Dolphins fans in my life that's probably the one team that I would probably never root for.
Okay.
Honestly, and I don't even have very many players from the Dolphins, so I could probably say probably my least favorite team at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, and I think you're where you're at is where a lot of us fantasy players end up getting to, right? Is that there's an acknowledgement that happens of, yeah, you might have a team you root for if they're playing somebody else, but at the end of the day in fantasy there's no honor in your team, it's the player. And
Absolutely.
as much as I hate the 49ers, I love Christian McCaffrey. So, I'll root for him all day, even if he's on the 49ers. So should have stayed in Carolina, but that's a different story. Was at the game when he scored 4 touchdowns. Again, different story.
Nice.
But, yeah, so I totally get it. And just saying, maybe don't go to the 49ers or the Commanders, but there's other teams. Go to the Jets. I don't think you get anybody.
Oh, no. Careful there. Watch your mouth.
I'm
At least
not
with
gonna
the
lie. I like the
Dolphins,
Jets.
people feel sorry for them.
I got a lot of player acquisition from the Jets. So I mean, I even got the Aaron Rodgers mustache going on at the moment. So I kind of like the Jets. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but see, you made it through last season, right? Like you made it all the way to the end of the season in your fantasy leagues last year.
Yeah.
So
I played more than 1 week.
yeah, one set of downs. But
5 seconds.
yeah, that's I feel like I might be causing a rift here because I watch both of your reactions while you're talking, and I feel like I'm gonna have to sit in like a mediation session towards the end of the season because of the fantasy loyalties that have the battle lines have been drawn. So I apologize in advance, but.
That's I think part of it. We do it so much together. It becomes a
I know where
rivalry.
he stands, but like I said, it's fantasy football. I mean, it's football in general. I mean, if you don't have those kind of rivalries in football, I mean, it's just not as fun. I mean, if two buddies can't dislike each other's team at an extreme level and not be mad at each other about it, I mean, are they really buddies? Right?
That's the two tests.
I hate you.
And I'm sorry, DJ Dove, you were getting cut off there. What were you saying?
Oh God, what was I saying? I just lost it. I said basically what JJ Wang was starting to say there is like, it's funny. The more you spend together, the more you start to like. It's that rivalry thing, like he was saying. Like my brother's a 49ers fan, and I hate the team. I remember as a kid taking 49ers base football cards and ripping them up because I hated the 49ers because they beat my Icky Woods. To this day, I love Christian McCaffrey. I love Debo. I like there's nobody really on that team I'm not a fan of. Brandon Ayuk's on my list because he messed up a lot of my teams a couple years ago, but he's really good. JJ Wings brought me around, but I think it's that rivalry that does get built with as his co-host. Like he really doesn't like my Dolphins. I know that, and it's just that rivalry that just sort of happens naturally. I think with guys in general, even if he loved the Dolphins, but he sort of was. I think it would eventually been not liking them. Like he doesn't like anybody loyally enough right now that I can be like, I don't like them. I'm a little frustrated with the 49ers because he likes them, but I've got some Christian McCaffrey, and he should get me a championship team. That was the team that just got dumped on too. But
that's true. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's fantasy football, right? Like we have imaginary teams we've assembled digitally. And, we have absolutely zero outcome or zero effect on the outcome of the real game. So, at the end of the day, you're still friends, and that's what counts, right?
Absolutely, man.
All right. Well, on that note, let's switch it into overtime. So here at Fantasy Turf War, we have the same 3 questions for every team. And actually, I'll pause for a second. So you two are co-managing a team, and your team name is affectionately called the Fantasy Couriers. So I wonder where the name came from, but
or creative.
So let's go into overtime. 3 questions, no preparation, no study guides. You have absolutely no idea what I'm about to ask you. There's no math, so there's good. Yeah, that's good. All right, question number 1, and we'll go JJ Wang first, and then DJ Dove. Do you believe in aliens?
I currently do not. I mean, do I think there's a possibility that there are aliens out there? I mean, I guess there could be, but I've never seen one. So I mean, in my life, the way I think, it's hard for me to believe in something, technically that I haven't really really seen. But I will never say that it's not possible because I mean, there's a big universe out there. I mean, I know the Earth came along in on perfect circumstances. Could it happen twice? I mean, who knows? It's possible, but currently my answer would have to be no.
Okay. DJ Dev?
I think it's a trick question. I see aliens in your background. My answer is, as of today, no.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
He basically gave. We're on the same page. How about that?
All right.
So we're good.
Yeah,
Championship.
It's, we've done plenty of the interviews now, and I think you get a mixed bag of answers, so you are in company either way. So
Yeah, I mean, the stories out there are great. I mean, they make it easy to believe that there are aliens out there. I've seen Independence Day multiple times. I mean, hey, it would surprise me to walk outside one day and there'd be a big ship over my house and everything's about to go to crap. But so, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's a scary proposition too. I mean, do you really want aliens? I mean, we all feel like we want to see one, but do you really?
yeah. I'd hope if it were true, right? You'd hope they're more like Paul and not Independence Day.
Oh yeah,
Yes, please.
absolutely.
All right. Question number 2, and we'll go in reverse order now. So DJ Dev, you're up first. What is the most unusual item in your office, and what is the story behind it?
I don't really have an office. I'm a teacher, so I don't know. I have a lot of odd things. So do I just pick my man room? I don't even know. Like,
Yeah, and I'll filibuster for a second. So like unusual can mean awesome, gross, interesting, coolest collectible. We've had a lot of different answers on the show so far, so I think you're in good company either way.
yeah. So being that I'm a teacher, my desk is in the middle of my room. So I'm a elementary school drama teacher. So I make the room like a kid would want to be. So the coolest, and I make it about me. So the coolest thing in my classroom, man, these aren't prepped questions. You'll hear as everybody hears me mumble jumper, try to think of an answer here. I just boxed it all up. So it's all back in a box because I'm moving schools. The coolest thing in my classroom, I'll go nerd on the wall. I have a giant cardboard Iron Man. The kids love it. He's on the corner there, and then two walls across is a giant cardboard Anna from Frozen. And the kids go, "Well, what happened to Elsa?" Elsa was right below the air conditioner thing, and the water came through the ceiling, and it made Elsa turn brown. So there was like brown smears down Elsa. So I guess that's the oddest thing in my office. It's just my whole office is odd because it's elementary drama. So best I
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that has not come up on the show before. So we used to have a Christmas display at our house in Vegas, and we had the cardboard Anna and Elsa, and we did like a whole Frozen thing. We won back-to-back years, by the way.
That's money. Christmas lights.
I mean, how can you not with that going on?
I want to hear JJ Wang's answer.
Yeah,
This is
say,
gonna be
okay.
interesting. He doesn't have an office.
So you've had time to prep, time to stall, so it's your turn.
So I mean, I really don't have a lot going on. I'm not that much of an interesting person here, but I think I do have a with my daughter. She's constantly asking for animals. So currently, I've got my ball python sitting right here next to me. Funny story, he has gotten out for 8 months and ran around my house for 8 months at a time on multiple occasions. So I mean, it's great living with a snake running around her house. I also have a tarantula. Probably one of my favorite little creatures. Funny story, he has also gotten out and has been running around my house for multiple months at a time. Not a very good pet owner, evidently. I also have a water dragon, as far as lizard goes, and I got me a bird. I mean, I just got a zoo going on over here. But yeah, I think it's pretty. I think that's about the weirdest or the most strangest that I can get right there.
Okay, so were the tarantula and the python out at the same time?
They were not.
Okay.
The tarantula came first. I've had her for a few years. The snake, I didn't realize how strong they were, and they can easily pop off a lid with 15-pound weights on the sides. I had no idea. I mean, it's a little snake. It's not nothing big, but yeah. So I've also had a mouse get loose running around my house trying to feed my snake. So that's fun as well. And I did end up catching him. So I mean, she's not out there making babies. So I mean, I did manage that.
That's good. That's
It
good.
will never be in your house ever. Ever.
And so I've only had dogs and a couple of fish that lasted a week, but like, does the bird and the dragon, like, does any of them play together? Like, I'm assuming they're all isolated experiences.
They're all isolated. I mean, I will say when the snake gets out, I do fear for the bird a little bit. I mean, snakes do eat birds. I found this snake hanging from the ceiling at one point. At one time he got out. So I'm not gonna lie. When you find a snake when you randomly turn on a light in your bathroom or in your laundry room, it scares the bejesus out of you.
Yeah, I have new fears unlocked today, so that's awesome. Thanks a lot.
I just had cardboard in my room. He's got killers in his house.
To be fair, you did make an argument saying you killed Elsa, but that's besides.
The air conditioner.
I'm not a murderer.
So a witch melted with water. Where have I heard that before?
My kids just did the Wizard of Oz, actually.
I don't know if she's technically a witch. Disney's going to get mad at us for this, probably. So
Yeah.
it's okay. They'll just send her to JJ's house.
Yeah, I'll
Said
figure
the
it
word, you see.
Introduce him to the snake. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
We're going to go to question 3 because I've never really messed around with snakes. So
They're blast, man. I'm not gonna lie. They're an enjoyable creature, man.
they are in confined settings. I think the idea of one being loose in my house would terrify me.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like snakes, but I mean, I was kind of scared from time to time. You know, you never want to wake up and see a snake laying next to you. I mean, that would, like you said, it freaks you out. I mean, turn on your bathroom light at 3:00 in the morning and there's a snake stretched out along your bathroom. It kind of makes you poop your pants, man. I'm not, but I mean, I love you guys.
You're in the right place.
Yes, I was in the right place.
All right. Well, with that, we'll move on to question 3, and we'll start with JJ this time. All right. You have 30 seconds. You can tell the entire world one message, and the entire world will hear this. What will you tell them in your 30 seconds?
Well, that's a tough one, but I'll say this: believe in yourself. I mean, open your eyes to things that you never thought you would open to them, and don't worry about what the whole world has to say. I mean, you can take this to fantasy, you can take this anywhere. Believe in yourself, do what you want to do, and everything else will fall into place. I mean, I know that's hard for a lot of people to believe, but believe in yourself and do what you want to do, and everything will work out. Promise.
It's a great message. Now, DJ Dub, you got to follow it up, so have fun.
My message would be always be yourself. Don't be someone fake when you're not somewhere else. People see me anywhere. I'm an elementary school teacher, lead groups at my church. I do fantasy football. This is no different than what everybody sees. So whether you're representing a school, I'm representing Christianity, I'm representing the Fantasy Couriers. This is who I am. If you got to be fake, then there's something not real about you. And if you got to pretend you're something, that means you got something to work on. But always be yourself, have fun, smile, and just enjoy life, because it's really short, and we make it too hard. And that's like, I got a second podcast called It's That Simple, because life is very simple. And that's just sort of how I live life, just enjoy it, have fun. And we make everything way too serious and complicated when it's just so simple. Just going with that.
Yeah, that's a great message. I think both are equally messages that should be heard. And that's good. Good way to end it, I think. All right. Well, on that note, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on tonight. And I wish you absolute best of luck in the league and in the drafts. And, it is a 64-team competition. So, only one winner. So I would say aim for top 8. That's an admirable goal. No, you just want number 1. Okay, well, that's what a lot of other people are saying, too. Someone's going to be very heartbroken
At least 63 teams.
I mean, in fantasy, I'm hardworking every year. Ain't nothing going to change, man.
All right.
First, your second's first loser, right? We're going for first.
That's true. And in Fantasy Turf War, honestly, it's not necessarily about winning because you just don't want to lose. Because those punishments and having to do the arc, not going to be fun. So
I didn't tell you Wang that yet.
Oh. There's no snakes involved, if that helps. So
I'm not really sure what all it is yet. I got to read a little more.
Yeah, we'll dive more into punishments as the season goes on, before the season starts, so everyone knows what's at stake. But yeah, you really don't want to be in the bottom of this. But top 8, I would think, is a huge win. I won't be playing this year just because I have to be non-biased. But I came in top 10, and I thought that was like, man, I really pulled something off. So, but yeah, if you can walk away with the championship out of 64, that is something that should be celebrated, will be celebrated, and should be proud of. So I wish you the best of luck in getting to that achievement. It's been a pleasure. Where can people find you at, and what are you guys working on?
You can find us anywhere social media. We have a Facebook account where I post a lot of our stuff. Instagram, it's the Fantasy Couriers on both sites. We also are on X. X I don't do as much because it's so short, and I'm very verbose. And recently I just started up, and it's is the fantasycouriers.com, where I put all the content. Just put the links on there. We're growing. We're going to add stuff into there. It also has my personal rankings. I'm a Fantasy Pros ranker, actually. They let me in somehow or another because I just sent the guy an email. So it's got my dynasty rankings. I just posted my draft rankings, and rookie rankings are on there. So I can hyperlink them into there, as well as links for the site. So the fantasycouriers.com, any social media there, and we do weekly episodes on anywhere you listen. Whether it's Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube, anywhere you listen, it all pops up in there. We do weekly episodes during the off season. Once we get to the regular season, we do a Sunday recap show and a Thursday-ish getting ready for the next week's show. And generally, when we do those, depends upon what our kids are doing, because they're our number one. And if we got to adjust, we'll adjust it for our kiddos.
Sounds good. Way to sneak the hidden credential in there of being a Fantasy Pros contributor there. I think for those who've listened to the end of the episode should now fear this team, because you guys definitely know, with the years of experience and the knowledge base, I think you are a team to contend with. So, you guys don't know. Yeah, we don't know how to play football, but yeah, I got you. I'm picking it up.
I don't know anything, man. It's my first.
This is world football, right? So it's like goals and corner kicks.
There's an anecdote about how many people applied to be in the league that thought it was soccer. So there is something.
My football is soccer. I mean, I spend so much time of my life watching soccer and playing soccer. My daughter plays soccer, so I spend so much of my life with soccer right now. I mean, technically right now, soccer is my football at the moment.
Right,
and he might have the most goals saved in the history of the world, because our high school soccer team started our senior year, and I've never seen so many people kick it on goal. Like we still got obliterated, and JJ Wang still stopped. Oh my gosh, dude! Do you even know?
Oh, I averaged 25 saves a game. I allowed 10, but I saved 25 a game. It was a bloodbath.
Jeez. Well, I mean, hey, stop at 25. That's good. It reminds me of there's one video out there with it's fake. I wish it wasn't, but it was Scott Sterling when they just keeps repeatedly getting kicked. It's worth a Google. It's funny. It's totally fake though, so is what it is. But we'll make sure we link to everything in the show notes, and I will be looking at those rankings because I'm intrigued.
It's going to be discussed. I think it's one of our upcoming episodes. JJ Wang wants to talk about them because I didn't know if they'd be done, and they've literally just been finished. So,
all right, sounds good. I will look forward to those, and I look forward to seeing you all in the draft. And best of luck in the league.
Appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Of course.